All right. Good evening, everyone. I am super excited you're all here. I'm just checking everyone's on mute. Jay, I've made you co-host, so I'll bring you on in a second. But what's up, everyone? Welcome to tonight's 7-figure mentorship call. I am really excited for this call tonight for a multitude of reasons. I've got an incredible guy on the call with me tonight who I'm going to introduce very shortly. But all of you have shown up tonight to learn from myself and a 7-figure earner, okay? Now, I'm excited for you all because of the information that is going to be shared on tonight's call, all right? Now, the information that is going to be shared and that you'll be given, if applied, I promise you will change your life, okay? And I mean no hype with that. And I am a very firm believer that success, that the success that I've been able to have, that Jason, who's on the call with me tonight, has been able to have, that Josh, that Zach, that Corinne, any leader that's on this call tonight, that is anyone who is running with us, guys. The reason we have been able to have the success that we've been able to have is because of what we did with the information that was presented to us a long time ago. All right, so make sure that you guys are taking notes right now. If you are not, leave the call right now because you aren't ready. All right, you're not going to take this seriously, and you should not trust your brain to remember all of this key information. All right, so guys, please take notes. So whether you are already in our company, whether you're trading, whether you are building a business, maybe you are trying to start your own business, all right? Maybe you're on here to try and find out if trading or building a business is something for you, okay? Whatever that reason is, every single successful person has one thing in common, right? How we do one thing is how we do everything. And you're gonna learn tonight exactly that, all right? So take notes, come here, have an open mind. All right. So before we get stuck into the call, I want to introduce myself so we aren't complete total strangers. If you don't know me, my name is SJ Plumpton. I am 30 years old. I'm from North Queensland originally. I'm now living down in Geelong, which is basically the bottom of the world. I'm a full-time entrepreneur and trader. My day-to-day goal, if you guys follow me on social media, is literally to show everyone how life transforming day trading is, okay? Even just spiritually and emotionally, okay? And to really remove that negative stigma and fear that is wrapped around the whole investing world, okay? And I do that. I have the privilege to do that through basically the world's largest financial education platform, which is called I Am Mastery. Okay, so I've been involved with online entrepreneurship since 2013. Okay, I was exposed to a company called Beamer way back in the day. That's actually when I came across Jason Brown and Matt Rosa back in like 2014 out in Arizona. I started in this industry because I knew that, the traditional route of life, it just didn't really interest me whatsoever. The whole go to school, get good grades, get a trade, go to uni, work 40 plus years and then retire, then die. Literally, guys, none of that appealed to me. Okay, so I literally tried anything and everything until I found something that I liked. So that was, hairdressing, beauty therapy, dermal science, personal trading, business marketing, right? I did thought mechanics, metadynamics, and psychology. I then started to find my groove, right? I literally wrote out how I wanted my life to be, what my values were, and what was important to me. I wrote out how I didn't want my life to be. And I looked into industries and skill sets that could give me the lifestyle I wanted. Okay, freedom is an incredibly important thing to me, right? And I've always wanted my own business of some kind, but I didn't want my income relied upon people buying my product or a client-based business where, if they canceled, like if I'm a personal trainer or something like that and they didn't show up, I lost my pay, all right? I wanted to be in control of my finances and how much I earned, not told when to show up, when to go home, when to have lunch, when I can take a piss, when I can take time off, all right? I wanted to control my income based upon what I decided I was worth, all right? Then it was, years went on through networking and association. A friend in 2015 introduced me to the trading world. So I started my trading journey independently in 2015. That was just literally through books, YouTube, and Google. Okay, I really struggled. I had no mentors. I had no like-minded people around me to support and encourage me. I had no one to ask questions to, right? I had just lost money to an auto trader. And the one thing that, losing that money really sucked. But the one thing it taught me was the value of learning a skill set, okay? A skill set that cannot be taken from me, right? So when I started trading, I was a subcontractor for a company that was associated with a really big name guy who goes by the name of Jordan Belfort. Okay, so I was a subcontractor for his company called, well, he was a consultant with it, called Face to Face. It was a government-based company dealing with skills shortages in Australia. So I had some of the best training in the world, okay, in the industries of sales and business. However, the company was dodgy AF, all right? It literally shit the bed. All of us business developers did not get paid, walking away from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of commissions, okay? Now, the most compensation we got was literally the iPads that we used on job sites. All right. Now, when I say 2015 was a really rough year, I mean, I had disconnection notices, rental arrears, sub-zero bank account. Okay. This was my year of 2015. So being in the position I was in then, I wasn't in a position to say no to life-changing opportunities. All right. My situation couldn't get any worse than what it was. So then fast forward to 2016, my friend Matt Wilco introduced me to the platform that I've been with ever since, and it's been my home ever since. Okay, so I've now been trading on a full-time basis for 3 years. I was able to quit my job after 6 months of being with the platform, as I had built a business at the same time. So I've personally been able to help over 220 people get started in this industry and learn to trade the largest financial market. I've been able to build a house. I became a full-time carer for my mom. I've traveled. And it's funny because if you asked me, 5 years ago, if I would be where I am today, because after that subcontracting job, shit the bed, I went back into retail. Okay, I needed to make ends meet. So if you had asked me 5 years ago if I would be doing what I'm doing right now, I literally would have laughed at you. Okay, but through time, through commitment, through dedication, through trust in those people leading me, the guys I was following, guys like Jason, okay, I'm where I am now because of that, because I had vision for myself and I decided to commit to it, right? I knew that I was worth more than the average route. I was worth more than struggle, okay? Now, this is the second economic downturn that I've experienced, right? I'm 30 years old. The first one was 08, 09 financial crisis and whatever the hell is going on this year, okay? So it's become extremely evident to most people that we cannot be relying on one form of income. And if we still are, right, if you were just relying on income from your job, right, you are one step away from poverty, okay? Because job security does not exist. And we aren't ever going to save our way to riches. We are never going to save our way to wealth, all right? We need to be creating forms of income that don't involve direct involvement over a long period of time, okay? Now, there's 7 income streams, and you need to be making more than just your earned income through a job, all right? Now, there's a lot of hype going around, a lot of get-rich-quick industry BS out there, okay, about how to be a millionaire overnight. But the truth is, it doesn't have to be overwhelming, okay? Creating wealth, investing, it does not have to be overwhelming, right? And the all-consuming desire to earn a great deal of money isn't always there. People just want to live comfortably. And I believe that what most people want isn't necessarily to make, 20 freaking millions in a couple of years, okay? Maybe you don't want that, right? If it is, hell yeah. If it's not, then also sweet, okay? But what people really want is to stop trading their time for money, all right? Or at the very least, they want to be able to reduce the amount of time they spend making that money and do things they actually enjoy, spend time with their family, raise their kids, all right? Spend time with their elderly parents. Now, quality of life is the operative phrase here, right? Living comfortably is quite a subjective state of being, and it holds, different meanings for different people. But the one thing we all have in common, unless we're all born with silver spoons in our mouth, and every single, I'm doing good, all right? And to be honest, in terms of my circle of friends, I'm probably the brokest, and I'm doing good, right? I've got friends like Jason, right? And he makes $750,000 a month. No income claims. Okay, little disclaimer there. All right. He makes a lot of money. 5 years ago, he can tell you his own version of events. He wasn't making that. All right. Now, I don't know if you guys fully understand our world, what money is, how the world works. But for us, okay, I'm going to break this down for you. We need roughly $3 million as a married couple to retire on, right? Which means that we need to be putting away $50,000 a year from now on. Most people don't even make that in a year. Okay, so we're not getting the pension, we're not getting anything like that, right? So people are losing out on their superannuation funds every single year. Like, the horror stories are real, right? So we need to take responsibility for our future. Otherwise, your future financially is going to be really tough. Okay, how many sources of income do you have? Do you have any desire to add more? Okay, if you do, what are you doing about it? Because the biggest risk to your financial life is being dependent on only one income stream. Okay, we need to diversify. All right, so guys, let me paint this picture for you, right? We all have a job, or you've had a job. Maybe you lost it due to this, pandemic that we're in, okay? We show up, we work our hours, and we know some people that work a little more, some that work a little less. Either way, we get paid for the work we do, then we go home, we turn the TV on, we crack a beer, or we have a wine, right? We flick our thumbs, we're scrolling left and right, we're on social media, we're watching some mind-numbing BS on TV, then we go to bed. We wake up, our alarm goes off first, and we wake up, I suppose. The first thing we do is we grab our phone and we scroll social media, right? We use our money to pay our bills and whatever else. We buy things with money that we don't really have, to impress people that we don't really like, to look cool, to be cool, to fit in, right? It's a vicious cycle that we all live in, right? I was doing that too, but something clicked for me, and I started making some changes. I started changing my circle of influence, right? I stopped hanging out with toxic, freaking negative Nellies that weren't going anywhere, right? I started to read, right? And I read Building Wealth and a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And these books really hammered home the whole concept of residual income and passive income. All of those, I had none. I had zero of that. I didn't even know what it was, right? I was working away, slaving away. And if I stopped showing up, then they stopped paying me, right? And I read this and I thought, I read all about residual income and passive income and investment income and, all this income that I was missing out on. And I thought, holy crap, what if I made enough residual income to pay my bills? Because that's cool, because you know what? I have residual bills, don't I? I have electricity bills every month, I have phone bills every month. Why don't I have residual income? Okay. And that is why I decided to get involved with online entrepreneurship and trading. Not just because I could, essentially create my own economy and pay myself whatever it is I wanted with how much work I put in, but because of everything else that it teaches you. You learn so much about yourself and what you're truly passionate about, and personal growth and personal development and fulfillment and success, right? All of that is so important to me, because I strongly believe that we weren't just, put on this earth, right, to pay bills and die. We have a purpose to fulfill. And some people find that, others are too closed-minded to even think about anything else, and just showing up at a job, paying their bills, and merely living, right? And it is important to me to be on this call, sharing this with you, okay? It is important to me to be building a business and coaching and mentoring my own students, right? And it's important to me because I believe that we aren't meant to just struggle, right? And those that are struggling are choosing to. And I strongly believe that because there is opportunity everywhere, okay? And in 2015, when I was broke, back up against a wall, I decided I was worth more than a struggle, okay? So I want to encourage people to dream to dream bigger. I want to encourage people to live a more fulfilling life. And I have met a ton of people in my time that don't do anything with their lives, right? They say they don't have time. They say they're busy. They say they've got uni. They're working long hours at a job that you would be replaced in a heartbeat, guys. They use the kids as an excuse. I've got the kids like it's a freaking disease, right? That should be your why, right? They say they don't want the finer things. And, we can all be humble. The materialistic things don't really motivate me either. And that's fine, right? We don't need materialistic things. But what I do believe is that people talk themselves out of wanting the finer things because they've never been presented an opportunity to achieve it. So they try and justify it by saying, no, I'm not into that. I don't need that. I don't need that. But when you ask them if they could, if they could have it, 9 times out of 10 they would. Okay. And over the years, I have met so many people. I have had so many conversations. I see so much talent, and I see so many people with so much lack of belief and self-love. Okay. And I see people that have all these aspirations and talent, but they lack conviction. They lack conviction to transform their aspirations into actions and actually pursue their dream life. All right. So if I can be here tonight and give you guys a proverbial kick up the ass and encourage you and pour belief and love into you until you believe it yourself, until you love on yourself some more, then that's exactly what I'm going to do, because that is exactly what I do to my people every single day. Right. I'll show you, I can show you the vehicle that's changed my life. You all know what I do, right? If it's for you, then sweet. If it's not, then also sweet. I honestly don't care if people trade or not. But if I can inspire someone out there to do something amazing with their lives, then my job is done. Okay, trading and online business, that's my vehicle. Okay, and over time, I found that being really generous and caring and compassionate, just because I can. I do that because I can, not because I expect anything in return. Doing that has given my life more purpose and more meaning. All right, so you guys are on this call tonight, this morning, wherever you are in the world. I see a million of you on here tonight. And you are here to learn what it takes to become wealthy, whether that's 6 figures for you, 7 figures, 8 figures, okay? You're on here because you're either interested or you're committed. But after this call, you need to make one decision. You need to figure out if you are interested in changing your life or if you are committed to changing your life. Because if you're only interested, honestly, leave the call now, right? Because you will quit the moment things get hard, right? If you're committed, you're going to do whatever it takes. And I'll be honest, because I'm not one for hype, I'll be honest and real. Although anyone can choose to become successful, most people never will, right? And that is because when it comes down to the final word, most people will choose comfort over growth, right? Ultimately, people see the true price of success and they say, no, thanks. It's a little bit hard. I'll just go to my job. That's enough. They do just enough to get paid. That's what most people do. And the reason I've been able to have the success I've had and I'm going to have, and the amount that I've had now is a tiny amount compared to my mentors, is I had to become a student, right? I had to become a student of those who are where I wanted to be, right? I had to listen to those who have achieved everything that I was trying to achieve. I didn't listen to Auntie Sally or Uncle John or my broke besties, okay? Because I understood this, right? You do not take advice from someone you wouldn't trade places with, right? And this is one of the most important, characteristics of the what's the word I'm looking for? Of the mediocre majority, right? People are unwilling to trade comfort and stability for the pain of intense growth, right? And success costs you. It does. It does. And the simple truth is that every single one of you that's on this call tonight, you can have anything that you damn well want, right? The dream life, the dream relationship, the dream bank account, the holidays, the lifestyle, the means to give back to the world, to your own community. You can have all of that. The choice to become 100% financially independent is available to you now. Anything is possible if you are willing to pay the price. Right now, Jason, I've mentioned you 100 times on this call already. And the reason I've got him on the call tonight, the reason he's my co-host is because he's one of my best friends. And I've personally witnessed this guy's what we call glow up these days, okay? I've seen him go from 0 to 100. And the reason I keep this guy close to me and close to my heart is because of his servant leadership. Okay, this guy, he may make a ton of money, but that doesn't matter, guys, because this guy chooses people over profits every single time, right? He has been able to help over 200,000 people within our company and worldwide. He mentors and coaches people around the world and other businesses as well. He's one of the most humble guys I've ever had the pleasure of knowing, and it's been years and years and years and years and years, and I am excited to be on this journey with him. Okay, now I said on this post a couple of weeks ago that if you could learn from someone who makes what you make in a year, in a month, trust me, it's just way more than that, okay? Would you listen? Obviously the answer is yes, because you're here, okay? Well, I'm gonna hand the call over to Jason now. He's gonna share some absolute wisdom with you all. So Jason, I know it's early. I know you've had a massive week with the chairman leadership groups, but I appreciate you here. I appreciate you showing up. and I am ready for you to spit some fire to these lovely people. So if you're there, please unmute yourself.
Yep. SJ, can you hear me?
I can. Take it away.
All right. Well, first and foremost, what an amazing introduction and way to start the call. And I think it's pretty impressive for all of you guys on the call to just start to get your mind moving and think about what SJ talked about. Her words were impressive. And I think what's even more, I'm losing my voice. We had a huge leadership retreat out here. Actually, ironic enough, Jordan Belfort came and trained our top 60 producers last night in person. So if you guys didn't see that, it's on my Instagram. But and I tried to go to sleep at 2:30 a.m. and then I got a call that I had to physically go. I was laying in bed. I have to physically go and let our leaders into the Airbnb. They needed my ID. So I got to sleep 4.5 hours ago. But, I told SJ I would be here, and I'm actually really excited about it. And I don't wake up. I always tell SJ this. I don't really wake up in the mornings for very many people. But we've been really, really, really good friends for a long time. And, even before trading, funny enough, like she mentioned, I knew her. And then when we went out to Australia, myself, my business partner, Matt, his wife, Shorty, we went out to Australia back in 2016. I remember because the U.S. presidential election was taking place. I can always remember the time. But we went all over, and we had an amazing, amazing, amazing time. And that's when we really built our friendship to a different level. But it's impressive what she talked about, because at the end of the day, this is actually legitimate information. And, when we go to school and we're trying to become a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, really we're trying to build credibility, right, in that field, in that space. And I always tell people that credibility comes with time. Like Jordan Belfort says, it comes with a certainty. He explains how certainty in what you want is the key. But I've always told people consistency, which is a variation. And I think it's important that you become that expert in something, right? And that's really our journey. If you think about it, in life, we, go through trials and tribulations. We're, young, and we're trying to figure out what life really is, what type of music we like, what style of clothes we have. And then as we get older, we start to think about dating and, cliques and sports and hobbies. And then we get into the career mode, right? Where everybody starts asking you, well, what are you going to be when you grow up? And you're like, well, I don't really know. Or maybe you do know, but I didn't really know. Most people don't know. And as you get older, you start to transition into, what do I really want my life to look like? I personally went to college. I actually have a associate's degree in journalism, and then I have my bachelor's degree in communication. Somebody talking in the background? I don't hear anybody talking in the background. So anyway, I have those 2 degrees. And I remember one time I was I don't know, let's say 2 years into my journey in college. This dude, my professor, tells us in a class, I really hope that you guys find a passion in what you're doing, because you're not going to make a lot of money. I'm like, this is a real, he really said that. And I was like, kind of looked around. There was a few friends I had in the class, and I just looked, and I was like, man, this is an underpaid industry. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm spending 20 grand a month, 20 grand a year, 20 grand a year to go to this school, to make a living so I can have a family, have a house. I was broke college kid right now. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm spending 20 grand a year just to be told that I'm not really going to find a great career with this? I'm like, oh no. So anyway, at that point, I really turned college into networking. I really turned college into something that I learned from, but that I was going to be open-minded to other things. I wasn't just going to be one-dimensional. And I think about SJ's story and how I've seen her grow up from the time I was in Australia, out there meeting people. We were really just getting started with trading to where we all are today. Because at that point, I had some success when I went to Australia with trading and with building and working with the company that we're a part of. But we didn't really know what we were doing, not in the way that we do right now. And so I'm so grateful and excited for this call. And I'm grateful and excited that you guys are actually taking the time to be here and to listen. One thing that I learned is that you listen more than you speak. That's a huge key to becoming successful. Consistency, huge key to becoming successful. Being coachable and humble, the key to becoming successful. And so first, you have to be able to believe. I came into the space of direct sales back in 2013. Now, I went to college, got my degree, and I actually ended up in the middle. It was like a sandwich, right? It's like an Oreo. So, college is here. I worked as a waiter in college and made pretty good money. My professional, what I do right now, my professional entrepreneur career is here. And then in the middle is this filler, which was actually me working in nightclubs. And it was funny because, I look back at why you go through certain things in your life. And I look back at why I went through that chapter when I truly believe that my purpose was to create wealth first so that I could help millions of people around the world do the same thing. But why would I go and be a club promoter and, be drinking almost every night, partying almost every night? Because I learned the art of friendships, relationships, the importance of your network. And so, man, I was hanging out with some of the biggest house music DJs, Afrojack, Marcus Schultz, Tiesto, all these guys. They were working in my club, and then all the athletes and everybody else. And I learned how to create networks and how to talk to people and how to build those friendships and that trust. And so now, fast forward to 2013, I'm getting into entrepreneurship. I'm trying to figure out how to make money online. And I can tell you guys that it wasn't until you find the right vehicle. So if you're already trading and you're already part of I Am Mastery Academy, then you're already on the right track, because it took me 2 years to find the right vehicle. That is the point. The point is that we're here trying to figure out how we can grow and how we can help each other grow. And so for 2.5 years, I stumbled over opportunities. I did things that really didn't set me up for success. And then when I look at trading in 2015 for the first time, guys, I was 70 grand in debt when I actually found trading. $70,000 in debt. My credit cards were racked up. I had been to all these conferences learning. I quit the nightclub 2 years prior. I was making good money. And I was here, and then I fell back. I had to move back in with my parents. I was delivering pizza, Chinese food, sushi. And during that time, it was like summer 2015, right as SJ hit, and funny enough, she hit her rock bottom. It was right around the same time that I hit mine. But right around the same time that she found this was right around the same time that I did. And, when I saw trading for the first time, I had never traded anything in my life besides my phone number with the girl that I liked, or Facebook, Pokemon cards. I never traded money. What do I know about trading? The stock market in the US is pretty big, but you can really only trade stocks if you have good capital, especially at that time, right? You couldn't do marginal shares or whatever, partial shares. You could do that now on Robinhood, which is cool. But back then, nobody knew that. That wasn't something that I grew up around. My family was working class. Both of my parents worked multiple jobs. You guys could probably relate to that. You wake up in the morning and you see your parents leave right as you're getting on the bus to go to school. And when you come home, they're still working 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. That's what I emulated. That's what I watched. So I always knew how to work hard. When I saw trading, one of my first mentors, Christopher Terry, who at that time was an 8-figure trader, now not multiple 9. I mean, this dude is like the real deal. He said something. He said, you got to start working smart, and you got to put legs on your money, and you got to start teaching your money how to work for you. He said, because right now, you're a entrepreneur. He's like, you want to be an entrepreneur, but right now, you want to be successful, but right now, he goes, you're still working hard. He goes, and there's nothing wrong with a good work ethic, but you got to learn how to work smart. That's where you're going to create wealth. Guys, I went from 70 grand in debt. Somebody asked in the chat, what's the point? Here's the point. I'm getting there. I'm not a fluff type of guy. So let me get to the point. The point is that I'm not special. I came from nothing, right? I came from a good family, good ethics, but I was not born a millionaire. I've made almost $10 million, results not typical, in the last, by myself. I have a business partner, Matt, as well. And we did a lot of that was 50-50. So I made almost 10 million US dollars in the past 5 years. Why? This is the point. It wasn't I Am Academy. It wasn't trading. But I couldn't have done it without them. It wasn't just Christopher Terry. You know what it was? It was me dropping my ego, number one. That's very important because at one point I was very cocky. I felt like I knew everything because of what I did in the nightclub, because of the networks and the people that I hung out with. I was very, 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 I wasn't like disgustingly egotistical, but in my mind, I was the best. And I'm always competitive. So like when people started to talk to me about things, I was like, that's a scam. Oh, that's one of those pyramid things. Oh, trading doesn't work. No, I don't have money for that. Like, I was always the person who just assumed that I knew all things when I actually, in reality, looking back, I really didn't know much. You know what changed my life? Number one, dropping the ego. Number two, getting around the right people who actually have my best interests at heart. That's big. You got to be surrounded by the right people because you could want something great. You could be ready for something great. You could be prepared for something great, but you could be around a bunch of bad people. You could be around a bunch of people who really don't care about you, who really don't care. They just want your money. That you could fall into that circle. And I did at one point. I was around people who didn't have my intentions. I had my best intentions at heart. But you really want to know what it was? Ultimately, when all things dissolve, what really changed my life was information. And watch this. The human brain does not understand what it doesn't know. What you have not yet seen, not yet heard, not yet felt, does not exist in your reality. If you've never seen, let me think of a good example. Let's say you never saw a lion, the animal. You never saw the Lion King. That would be pretty tragic. Okay. You never saw a lion cartoon. You never saw a picture of one. You never saw one in the wild. There's probably an animal that existed that no human ever saw or documented. So guess what? It didn't exist in our reality, but it did exist in reality. Does that make sense? See, there's probably, I'm going to say it again, just so I make sure, because when you can understand this concept, your whole life will change. Maybe a dinosaur. I was actually going to say a dinosaur before I said the lion. I just like lions a little bit better. But understand this. Focus on this. What the human brain has not yet seen, felt, heard, experienced does not exist in that specific human brain. So, whatever it is in your life that you've never seen, you've never heard, you've never felt, technically does not exist in your reality, but it could exist in reality for somebody else. So, I was not financially successful because I had not seen it, I had not felt it, and I had not heard it. I grew up watching my parents work multiple jobs. Now, does that mean that they were not successful? No. I'm talking about creating wealth. See, wealth was the thing that never existed in my reality, but it existed in the reality of others. So what did I need to do? I needed to hear it. I needed to see it. I needed to feel it. I needed to get around it, because then it would exist in my reality. Now, once something exists in your reality, you cannot just erase it, right? And we always say these things like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to delete that, right? You've seen like a old dude at the beach in a Speedo, and you're like, oh, damn, that is an image I'm never going to be able to get rid of, right? We've all said that before. Like, it's like watching a train wreck. And we don't, like the bad car accident that you drive past and you just can't get that image out of your head, because the human brain is photographic. I've heard people say, I have a photographic memory. Hello, you are photographic. Everything is photographic. It ain't just your memory. But that's what we do. We're photographic. We're creating a photo right now. You're watching the screen and you're picking up on things, but you're going to remember something from this call. That's what finding success starts to look like. You can't forget it. Right now, you may not. Now, check this out. SJ was very polite about this. I'm going to be slightly savage. She was polite about it. If you're not taking notes, you should have gone to sleep already. And I'm not being arrogant. I promise you. Here's the reason why. If you're not taking some type of written notes, like, I'm not the biggest note taker, but there are certain key things that I write down from everything, because here's the reason. We're going to get deep for a second. We're not going to go long, but we're going to get deep. So, number one, you got to write things down, because you're never going to retain. Most of the time, I said human beings have a photographic memory. So what that means is that we're going to remember what we see before what we hear. Most people, 95% of people, are going to remember what they see more than what they hear. Or, well, until we hear that thing multiple times. So, you guys might remember the image, the rapper, I'm not a rapper, I'm not an athlete, I'm an entrepreneur, right? You might remember this image. You might remember that I wore my hat backwards. You might remember Michael Jordan. You might remember Kobe Bryant, right? You might remember, something from my bookshelf. But if you're not taking notes, you're not going to remember the content. You're not going to remember the specific things that were said. So we could see. So now you start to see success. You have to hear success multiple times. Drill it, right? And part of this, watch this, is that every single person on this call, I'm pretty sure, I hope anyway, has one mouth Some people talk like they got two. I get it. One mouth and two ears, which means when you speak, you're receiving double. You speak one, you receive twice. If you have both ears functioning, you receive twice. So we have to speak and then understand that we're going to hear more than what we speak. And so part of that is that self-talk. And I remember going back to the lowest financial place in my life. What was I telling myself? You're a loser. You're a bum. You're stuck. No. So I was telling myself that this too shall pass. This will pass. This moment is a learning experience, right? This moment is a time where I have the ability to start to see success, hear success, feel success, so that it will be permanently created up here. See, I don't care if you guys are already trading and you're not making money yet. Why, Jay, why don't you care? That's so insensitive. I want to make money. No, I get it. But I don't care so much about the result. Amateurs chase money. Professionals chase vision. Professionals chase wealth. Professionals chase the longevity and the longevity of something, or the long term of something. Amateurs chase quick money. That's why I said I don't care. Because I've been a part of this company for 5 years, and I'm about to become a go live educator next week, teaching about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Why? When I joined, I was broke. Now I've made multiple six figures trading cryptocurrency. I trade Bitcoin every single day, and I'm nice with it. So everybody's like, get on, get on, get on. But guess what? For 5 years, I sat in the back. I was humble. I learned. I observed. I listened to Chris. I listened to Picasso. I listened to the educators. I used the platform. Thank you, guys. I'm actually super excited about it. We didn't announce it to the company yet, but it's going to be big. I'm going to help people change their lives. And that's important to me. But it all is based around what I'm talking about right now. That I did not at one point understand that success was real, right? It's like almost like that water bottle's not in my hand right now. And it's like success is actually there, but I have to wait till it arrives. And I have to continue to speak to myself. And you guys have to continue to speak to yourself no matter where you're at. You're at the highs, you're at the lows, wherever you're at, you have to continue to speak to yourself in the right way, because you're going to speak and you're going to hear. But what I said when I was like, yo, I'm going to go deeper. We have a photographic memory. So what does that mean? Yes, we have to speak a lot in order to receive the audio. Thank you guys, by the way. I see a lot of love in the chat. But I was looking for a pen. You also have to write because of that photographic memory. That's why you have to take notes. That's why you have to write out your goals, because your brain takes pictures of things. And that is where you can maximize the memory. And when you start to maximize the memory, you start to develop expertise. That's the word. You start to develop expertise. Guys, I will be, to somebody who is not in the company yet, somebody who doesn't know about trading yet, in 3 months, they'll find out. There's people that will find out in 3 months about our platform, and they will see me as an educator. They won't see this call where I was not an educator yet. They won't see 5 years ago when I was broke as a joke. They'll just see where you currently are. You got to think about how powerful perspective is, how powerful perception can be. You may see somebody on their best day. Somebody could be alive for 80 years. You might meet them on their best day. You might meet them on their worst day. You never know. But the human brain holds this power to take images and to create. And so we have to start to think about what we're speaking, what we're writing, what we're looking at, what books, who we're around, the law of association. Because guess what? When all of that changed for me, so everything came pouring in. But I also had to have faith, not fear. I had to have faith. I did get the Chairman 750. That was a gift from somebody. That's lit, right? I had to have faith, not fear. Faith is important. Faith is trust, not religion. I tell people, I'm not religious. I have faith. There's a big difference. I had faith in the toughest times of my life, financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I still had faith in the outcome. That's why I'm on this call with you guys right now. Because I've had people betray me. I've had friends. I wake up, friends stab me in the back. I've had girlfriends that didn't work out. I've had everything. I'm a human being just like you guys. Just because I make money, that don't mean nothing. Who cares? I was telling some of my leaders yesterday, I said, look, they're like, Jay, you're so humble, man. We love you so much, bro. Like, for real. You're one of us, and you never make us feel like you're above us. And I said, look, I don't know everything, but I do know one thing. If a bullet hits me and then it hits you, we're both dead. That's the truth, though. So how could I be cocky and arrogant unless I don't understand the true purpose of life? How could I be fearful when anything can happen at any given time? I got to start to think bigger and get around the right people. And this is the point. This is the key right here, is that you got to start to like really start living and not care about the opinions of other people, not cash in if somebody, believes in what you're doing. Guys, there's a lot of my friends who did not. I'm going to tell you something. There are some, like, legit, some of my best friends, some of the groomsmen in my wedding that did not believe in this, that did not believe that I could be an entrepreneur, that did not believe in entrepreneurship, that did not believe in network marketing, that did not believe in trading. And you know what's happening right now, which it's probably the coolest thing in my career, like something that I'm so excited about. Now, I love, my people. I love my people. And if you know me, you know that. I've traveled the world. I've made friends. There's a lot of people on this call that I've known for years, and there's people on this call that I've known for months. But the one thing that I never really did or had the opportunity to do was work with friends from different chapters of my life. Like high school, never really worked with people from high school. College, I never really worked with people from college. And nightlife, I never really worked with people from there. I kind of went into this trading thing and developed new friendships, worked with strangers that turned family, right? And I right now, one of my best friends, Gerard, I actually used to make pizza when I was like 17 years old, and he was my delivery driver. No, so I was 18, he was 17. He got started. It's one of my best friends. He got started, and he wants to go all in. Like, he's trading. He wants to help us expand. One of my other friends is using the academy every day, and he probably is my friend with the most amount of pride. But that's my brother. Like, that's not even that's like, he's actually one of my groomsmen. He's one of my that's like blood. 7 years. These people didn't, I don't want to say they didn't believe, but it's kind of that, though, Like, if they did believe, they probably would have done it. So maybe it's that they didn't believe in me. Maybe they didn't believe in the company, or they didn't believe in the vision. They didn't believe in trading. And now I'm watching trading change their life. 7 years I've been doing this. 5 years trading, 7 years in direct sales. That to me is so cool because I realized that we were so close. I had to become something bigger, not the money. I had to become a bigger leader. I had to be able to lead them not just to the bar, not just to the movies, not just to Call of Duty, Warzone win, right? Not just on Fortnite, not just on TikTok, not just with likes and followers on Instagram. I had to start realizing that I had to grow in a way that if people saw me and they observed what I did, they would want to be around me no matter what because they know they were going to grow. They know they were going to be safe. They know I wasn't going to take their money. They know I could be, watch this, trusted. You guys, as leaders and influencers, need to start building trust. Respect is not given. Respect is earned. You earn that. How do you do it? With consistency, time, patience, humility. That's the truth. You got to trust the process. You got to really play it out. Then you guys can have anything. I'll be real. Anything. 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 There's an emphasis on this for a reason. It's about the belief. That's really the last component. You have to believe in yourself. And you have to become. It's like belief and become are these two words that I'm thinking right now. What you believe will become your reality. You got to be careful. I always tell people, what you focus on the most will grow the most. So be careful what you focus on, right? You find yourself sitting on social media, comparing yourself to other people, that will grow. So be careful. You find yourself, focused on eating a ton of donuts, that will grow. And so will your stomach. Be careful. Whatever you focus on will grow. I promise. So if you focus on the negativity, that will grow. You become a negative person. If you focus on abundance, success, wealth, and then you believe, it's game over. Somebody's like, damn, I need some donuts now. No, you guys, it's nighttime. You guys need to go to bed. My mom used to tell me no carbs at night, even though I love ice cream. I didn't listen to her. I did listen to her a lot, but not there. The point is, guys, you got to start really, truly believing because there will be a lot of people that do not support the journey. And it is what it is. They might not support it right now. So what does that mean? You got to become that person, become that trader, right? If you find the right mentors and the right group of people, what you found, you're on this call. If you're on this call, you found it. Congratulations. You have the right group of people that actually care about you. You have people that actually have experience and really can trade. You're here. You made it. You're in the right place. Congratulations. You gotta believe now. And I'm not saying believe in me. I'm not telling you believe in that. I'm saying you gotta believe in yourself first. That's important because I knew no matter where I was at, I could not fail. I didn't know anything, but I had faith. I didn't know anything, but I had belief. And then when I started to know, what did I open this call with? Information. See, I didn't know, but I had faith. I didn't know, but I had belief. And then when information came, game over. So maybe to summarize this, belief, faith, consistency, maybe that's what equals the result. Focus, that's what equals the result. Decision, commitment, certainty, that's what equals your result. You got the access to the information. That's what's so powerful about I Am Academy. That's why I love it. That's why this has become what I do. It's not a job. Jordan Belfort said last night, yo, you guys have good jobs. I was thinking, this ain't a job. He didn't like fully understand it, but it's fine. I was just thinking, man, I never, like, I don't know about you guys, but when I had a job, I hated it. I was like, bro, I haven't had a job in like 7 years. Thank God. Oh, they're not. Let me tell you something. You might be an ambitious person, and I'm not down on jobs. I worked hard to make money. I will never get something handed to me. A lot of people in the U.S. want stimulus checks and government assistance. Not Jason. I like to work. But I'll tell you, see, waking up at 7 a.m. to get on a call with your friends in Australia, that's cool. I don't like waking up early in the morning, but I like being here with you guys, so I got up, right? That's obvious. If I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't. I have that freedom. I don't need to be on this call. SJ, literally, SJ said, yo, can we do a call next week? I said, yes. I don't care when it was. I forgot. I didn't even know the date. I didn't know the time. I'll be there. But I'll tell you, when my boss used to tell me, you're working a morning shift, Jason, you're working 7 a.m. I'd be like, yo, never mind. I'm a saved person now. I'm a good person. Now, I used to hate waking up early. But I don't want to wake up. No, but I got to go to work, right? Because I got to pay the bills. So you don't have a choice. In entrepreneurship, trading, you have a choice. And what you do with that choice, that's up to you. So I'm grateful that we got to spend some time together. We're right on the dot of an hour. That's crazy because I was not counting or anything like that. But, you know, we're gonna cut this call. And, you know, what I want to say is that the application of information is important. You guys got a lot of, maybe not so many key takeaways, but here's the thing. This is more of a philosophical thing, right? To understand like the energy that is attached to success. That's why when somebody said, what's the point? I understand what you meant, because you were like, man, this is a lot of background story, but you got to understand one thing about success. If you want to be successful, you're going to hear a lot of background story, because success is spiritual. Success is not just practical. And I'm going to prove this point. If success was practical, you could have, if success was only practical, you could buy every book in the world and you'd be rich. No, go ahead. Go to the library, you get rich. Go to Amazon, you get rich. Success is not just the books. It's not just practical. It's not just what 7 steps. Guys, let me tell you something about the gurus. 7 steps to success. Shut up. Get to the point. It's the truth, because a lot of people need to sell. 95% of people in the world want steps. 4 steps to success. 6 steps to success. How are you going to tell me 7 steps to success? 4 steps to success. 2 steps to success. You want to be successful? Just keep stepping. How about that? Stop counting the steps and just keep stepping. Success is spiritual more than anything. And that means not that you need to pray or worship a certain religion. Spiritual in an energy stance. That you get on this call and the energy that you received along with the information, that's what changed the game. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'm grateful that we got a chance to spend some time together this morning for me, and this evening for you guys. And take it and apply it. Take it and meditate on it. Take the information from this call and reflect, right? Maybe you just lay down with your eyes closed and just let the information soak in. That's the key. The absorption, not just the information. So, SJ, I appreciate you. I'm supposed to be in Australia in March for this stupid quarantine, so hopefully I'll see you guys next year. But trust me, I'm coming to Australia and I'm pumped about it. I'm going to come out for a couple weeks and we're going to do this in person. So I'm excited. So thank you guys.
Jay, thank you so much, everyone. Just nuggets from that. I've got this recording, so I will upload that if you guys want it. Let me know. But Jay, thank you so much. Always nuggets and nuggets and nuggets. But you know, the one thing that I really took from that, guys, is you must see value in yourself to add value to yourself, right? If your self-worth is low, then your investment in yourself will be low. And your level of success will never exceed your level of personal growth, you know, personal development, spiritual growth, everything like that. Okay. So when it comes to getting everything that you want, you know, price is the one thing that stands between you and your potential. So if you want to be better, you need to be better. Okay. So I'm going to leave it on that. I am, you know, super thankful for all of your time tonight. It's been a, you know, big hot hour right here. But I am like, you know, I'm on fire. Like I'm not going to sleep for freaking hours now. So anyway, I appreciate you all. Thank you for getting on. We're going to do this again, probably like once a month, once every 2 months. You know, Jay is a man in demand. So appreciate you all. Thank you again. And I'll talk to you soon.